Here's Bina. One thing I have noticed among everybody is we all tend to be afraid of the unknown. Because the unknown is vast. There's many things in the world that we don't know of. And if the many things that we don't know of, we tend to fear. But if we tend to have an explanation for them, we no longer would fear them as much as we did before. For example, I used to be afraid of sleep paralysis. But once I had searched it up and figured out what it was, that fear went away. I no longer became fearful of a sleep paralysis because I now understand the concept of what it is. So the unknown, people not knowing things, is what make it scary about the unknown. Like space, outer space. We don't know nothing about it. So most people are fearful of it. We even till today are trying to learn more about it, so we could become less fearful of it, because we don't know what could come out of it. We don't know if one day we could be hit by an astronaut and kill off the rest of the human species, the whole world. We don't know that because we don't know much about the outer space. We might have learned many certain things about outer space, but we yet to know how to protect ourselves from many dangers that could come from the outer space. Like things like the dark hole. We know what it is, we know how it works, but we don't know how to protect ourselves from it. How do we avoid being sucked in a dark hole? And would we even know when we do, if we do get sucked into a dark hole, would we even know that we been sucked into a dark hole? And these are the type of questions we always be asking about the unknown. Things like the ocean. We only know 10% of the ocean, of the surface level of the ocean. The rest, 90%, we don't know nothing about it. We don't know what's live in there. We don't know if there's higher dangers down there, and that's what's scary about it. That's what's scary about the unknown, not knowing of possible dangers that could come out of these things. That's why we have scientists, people who try to give meaning to things, find evidence of reasons to why we have certain things, so we can lessen the fear of the unknown. The one ultimate unknown thing we all wish we could know more about, but we never will, is death. We will never know what comes after death. What is in death? We know the process of how you can get to it, but we don't know what's in it once you're there. And that's the number one ultimate fearful unknown type of thing, especially us humans are afraid of, is death. And I feel like one way we could get rid of this fear, one way would be to stop caring about the unknown. In a way, you might be like, how can we stop caring about the unknown? Because we as humans are curious. We are curious beings. It's okay to be curious, but to a point of letting it scare us. That's the actual question. How do we stop fearing the unknown? I feel like one way we could stop being fearful of the unknown is if we focus more on the present. We stop looking towards the future. When we think too much of the future, when we look upon the future too much, that's when fear comes upon us. That's when fear creeps up. Because questions like, okay, how long am I gonna live, comes up. Or things like, are we gonna get hit by a tsunami? Or are we gonna hit by an asteroid from the space? Or anything could fall from the sky that could kill us all. Anything could happen. We need to stop looking towards the future too much and focus more on the present to lessen the fear that we have of the unknown. I feel like that's the only way that could help us lessen our fear of the unknown. And another way, not lessen our fear, but another way for us to stop being afraid would be to be more open-minded. Be more open-minded about a lot of things. We could predict all we want, but we don't know what could actually happen, you know? So that's why we need to be open-minded. We need to have more broader perspective of the future. Could be more positive perspective of the future instead of focusing too much on the negative perspective. If we become more open-minded about things like AIs, robots, androids, and be more open-minded about aliens, because most movies that we've seen, the aliens that always comes down to Earth always comes down to take over, to destroy the human race. Instead, try to be more open-minded about these ideas of these entities, these type of things, to have more positive perspective on them instead of having to focusing too much on the negative perspective on these things. Because I also believe in manifestation. We manifest what we focus on. So I feel like as a society, if we focus too much on the negative perspective for the future, I feel like that what gonna lead us to that negative future type of negative perspective. But instead, if we focus more on the positive perspective for the future that we have, we would have a better chance of it being a better situation, better thing we could look forward to. And that's about it for the video. If you have anything you want to add on to this, you can tell me in the comments below. I read all of the comments. Let me know what you think, and that'll be it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.